If you watch Hardcore Pawn, then you know the show is about American Jewelry and Loan, which is a pawn shop located in Detroit, Michigan. The pawn shop is owned and ran by Les Gold and his two kids, Ashley Gold and Seth Gold. Hardcore Pawn isn't named hardcore for just any reason. Every day, the pawnbrokers encounter many different people and the crazy things they try to do to get fast cash. When the show first debuted on August 16, 2010, Hardcore Pawn brought in record-breaking ratings to the network, drawing in more than 3 million views in its 9 p.m. Tuesday time slot. The most interesting thing on the show is the customers' different personalities and when they try to scam the Golds at the pawn shop. So in today's video, we're going to discuss when some of the grimiest people ever appeared on Hardcore Pawn, so make sure you stay tuned. In the season 5 finale of Hardcore Pawn, a manager who had been at the store for over 20 years was fired after a few small slip-ups when Les was in a particularly bad mood. His name is Rich Pyle, and he had become a fan favorite of the show since the 2010 premiere.
25 years of being loyal to you. I've been more loyal than your own kids have to you.
You know what, Rich? You, get out of the store!
However, after some time, Rich came back to apologize for what had happened in the previous episodes, and Les welcomed him back. However, he still warned him he would be fired if he slipped up. Luckily, Rich got a chance to prove his worth when a teenager came in with microphones that Rich suspected had been stolen. It was the story of how the seller had acquired the brand new microphones that really tipped off Rich. The story was strange as no one just randomly tosses out 2 brand new microphones into the audience.
So they threw these things out into the crowd and you just happened to catch one? So at what point did they actually take this off of the rack and put it nicely inside of this thing?
Fortunately, Rich's hunch was correct as the microphones belonged to a local club owner and they had been stolen from the night before. Rich made sure the stolen microphones were recovered, the crook was arrested, and he got his job back deserving. Watch Your Back is the name of the season 7 episode that featured a high-end watch dealer and collector who came to the shop to pick up a watch. Since he was Les Gold's trusted friend, Les agreed on giving him a valuable Breitling watch for $42,000 in exchange for an IOU, since legitly the man didn't have the cash at the moment.
$42,500 tomorrow?
I will have the payment for you by tomorrow.
Gary, you got a deal.
Well, it turned out Les trusted him a little bit more than he should have. Rather than receiving a traditional cash payment, the customers sent Les an insane 130 cases full of watch bands to American Jewelry and Loan.
I trusted this mother and this prick me with these watch bands. If I had him in front of me, that son of a bitch.
The worst part was that hadn't been the only bad deal at the time, and Les was criticized for already making a few wrong deals. So on the episodes that followed, he was seen desperately trying his best to make things right. When nothing else worked, Les started selling watch bands at a discount price at $2 a piece, and luckily he finally managed to break even with a customer who showed up and purchased all the watch bands for himself, leaving some autographed versions behind to be sold on the shop's website. At one point, the show documented a sticky situation involving some stolen art being sold to the store for over $1 million, which could have been by far the most serious scam on the show. Luckily, the real owner of the art managed to call in and clarify what exactly had happened before Les closed the deal.
There's a guy on the phone. He says he's the guy who owns the artwork, and he's really pissed.
The story goes that Tony and Dina, the people who had tried to sell the art behind the back of the original owner, claimed that Les was a family friend of theirs and could get them a good deal on the art. If you ever watch the show, you know how much Les gets excited about art. So he was about to get it authenticated as one last step before buying, and he also gave them a number as the first step in bargaining for the paintings. They ended up telling the original owner that they were getting it for less and pocketed the rest of the money. When you are a pawnbroker, one thing is for sure, there are not 2 days that are the same. You can never guess who will visit the store and what kind of story they will carry with them, or whether or not they will attempt to scam you. So when a woman came into the pawn shop trying to return diamond earrings, no one could have expected what she would try to do. She wanted to return the earrings for cash because a diamond was missing from one, but she claimed she didn't have a receipt. Unfortunately for her, there were a few problems. The first one was the fact that you can't return something without a receipt. But even if she had a receipt, she couldn't get cash for it as the receipts from the store specifically state this.
Do you have the receipt?
No. Do gifts come with a receipt?
Yeah.
No, well, this one didn't.
But the bigger problem was the diamonds were fake. This woman was trying to scam these pawnbrokers and she got busted. Even after she was caught, she wouldn't admit defeat, as she started yelling and trying to cause a scene.
Oh, excuse me, anybody buying any jewelry from here? Don't get no more jewelry from here, because this ain't good.
Hey.
She didn't want to give up on her cash grab, but there was no way she was going to be permitted to stay. And that's all we have for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.